Okay, so I got the question of how to get a nice clean line for adding wax resist for glazing. These Sumi brushes are my favorite to use on my own. You can see that it gets a little bit bushy, but as soon as I get it wet, I can sort of bring that to a nice point. And this basically helps me get a nice strong line quality. It gives me good control. The wax that I'm using at the moment is it's the Ceramic Supply Premium Wax Resist. I buy it on Amazon. And I like it because it dries really hard and it dries really fast. So the harder surface of the wax means that it's going to be much easier to clean the glaze off of it. So let's go ahead and get this wax on. So I'm going to go ahead. You see how this is pretty off center? I want to put this on center. So I like to use these Shimpo banding wheels for this. And this is a very small one. You don't need a big one because you can put a bat on there and make it bigger with a bat. So, but this one you can kind of see like it just spins and spins and spins. And that's why I love them. They are expensive, so you could buy a cheaper banding wheel. You'll just have to turn it a little bit more frequently. So I think that this will be fine. It's not perfectly center. You don't need it perfectly center. You just don't want it sort of swaying far out because then you're going to have a hard time controlling where that wax goes. Okay, so I'm just going to see how I put my brush at a point like that. I've loaded it up with wax. I'm going to go ahead and spin my banding wheel. I'm going to anchor my arms in my body, and I'm touching my hand. The hand that's not in use, I'm touching the other hand just to keep me nice and steady. And I'm just going to sort of lower my hand down. If you notice, this brush is sort of pushing over into the inside and into the outside, and that's why I like these brushes. If you're using a foam brush, then you have to sort of, move the brush itself, but these ones, I can just push it down and you get a really nice line quality. The part where I'm cleaning my brushes. So basically what I do is I boil some water. And this was just some water I boiled right before we started filming. And I'm gonna pour it into a cup. And I don't need a lot of water, just enough to put the brush under. So now what I'm gonna do, hopefully you can see this, I'm just gonna take this brush and go right in there. And the faster you can clean it after use, the better, the more that it's gonna come out. So see how that's mostly out? This water is still kind of blue. I normally just dump it down the sink. I've never had trouble with that. And then I'm gonna fill this up one more time. I almost poured more wax in there. So just like a little bit of water, that's all it takes. And then it usually takes like 3 times to run clear. So this water, I did boil it though. Like this is more than just hot water from the sink. And again, you can just dump it right down the sink, but I'm just, for the purposes of this video, just emptying it into a container. And then this will be my last one. And I am like pushing it onto the bottom of this cup. And then you can see all the wax is out of this brush and it's ready for use.